Good Saturday morning, everybody. It is a beautiful Saturday morning here in Tennessee, and I'm over at the Hideout woods. Much rain as we've had. It's got quite a bit deeper over here. We're right at waist high now. Let me walk on back through this a little bit. Glad you guys were able to join me today. I want to go check on the teepee for one thing. Do the trail cam card change out. See if the new spot brought up any new prospects. And just sit down and have a nice quiet afternoon for a little while. Not sure what that is croaking over there. Stick around. And get back here under the canopy a little bit. The vegetation lays down some. If you didn't know where you was going, you couldn't see my trail here from being in and out of here all winter. Except right down through here where the deer have been using it. You can come through here kind of quiet now. Then they split off and go over that way. Or maybe that's where they join into this one. It goes off across there. I need a bunch of trail cams, don't I? Yeah. Well, from here, looks like the teepee has survived so far. Have I already mentioned it's a beautiful morning out here? Oh. Whew. It's a little muggy back here in the woods this morning. It feels pretty close to 100% humidity and no rain. A little sunshine this morning. Supposed to be some storms this afternoon, but you guys know how that goes. I think everybody out there in Oklahoma has been thrashed a little bit. We've had some wind here, but not all that bad. 25, 30 mile an hour gusts the other day. That looks like it did okay. It stretched a little bit, just exactly like I expected it to. But I'm going to open it up here in a minute. Pull the front up on the trapper shack. Trapper shack. Wrong piece of equipment. Hobo cam. Gonna let them air out a little bit today anyway. And I'm gonna walk over to Alpha Camp here in just a little bit and do that card change out. I'll take you guys with me. Stick around. By taking the extra time to put that vent in there, it made a difference. But you know, it actually felt kind of cool in there. You can see where she stretched out a little bit. High and dry. Just that little vent there helped a lot. May wind up putting another one right over there. Don't know yet. Got to spend the night over here first, huh? Yeah. This is one of those mornings where it's warm enough that you sweat just a little bit maybe. But the breeze is blowing just enough to keep you cool. I expected quite a few bugs down here before the heat of the day. It's supposed to get up mid-80s today. Ooh, stepped in a hole. Pretty sure nobody's been over here since me. And the little trail there's still being used. A lot easier to walk around quiet here. Wasn't really doing a stealth attempt to come up to the camp over here. But thought I might sneak up on one or two. Over here having a little mid-morning snack. Got a couple of those in my pocket. Put out a few little snacks. Threw some around in the grass here. They've been coming through here still. I didn't look at the card yet. I am going to look at it when I get back over to camp. The lower cedar trees are kind of thickening up. Alpha camp here is not a bad spot. Well, let's turn that thing on and head back over to the hideout. Right now I'm not being bothered by bugs other than some gnats buzzing around. I use the same spray that I use all the time. The recipe for that, guys, I use DEET also. Let me say that first. If I know the mosquitoes are going to be so heavy that you're just about going to have to stay in the tent, then I'll use some DEET. So by doing that, I have those bottles left over. Actually, I only had one. But it's about a 7-ounce bottle, I think. I put an ounce of peppermint oil, an ounce of citronella oil, just a little bit of alcohol, isopropyl, not knot water, and top it off with just some water out of the filter. You have to shake it up pretty often. It does want to separate. But you know, I really haven't been eaten up with mosquitoes. I spray my clothes with it. And usually, I don't spray it directly on me. Not that it wouldn't hurt you. I spray it on a rag. And then I wipe it on the back of my neck, up across the top of my head. But I haven't had any issues today, except the little gnats. Alright, made our way back over here. Sit down here and get me a drink of green tea and just relax for a minute. Join me. See, I got a decent little breeze coming across me there. Feels pretty good. I'm just a little bit disappointed with the trail cam this time. I only got 4 pictures. I don't understand it again. It had been working just fine. 2 of the pictures were of me leaving the last time I set it over there, and 2 of the pictures were when I walked up to it today. I don't know what happened in between, but I loaded it and set it, and we'll try it again. I keep hearing these old motorcycles run up and down the road, and kind of gnaws at me just a little bit. Some of you guys may know, and a lot of you I'm sure don't, that today's May the 20th. And 3 years ago today, I had a crash with a semi. Doing 45 miles an hour on my bike, and he pulled out from behind another truck right in front of me, and I had nowhere to go. No details necessary there. Needless to say, over the last 3 years I have healed up, and I feel like I'm going to be just about like I am from now on. I'm just about as good as it's going to get, which limits me in a lot of ways. I'll still keep trying. It's just way not easier than it used to be, you know. And it's not because I've gotten 3 years older. At 56, I could still do my share of a day's work. And did so. I had my own paint shop going. And on that particular morning, it was just like most other mornings, you know. My shop was right outside the house. Got up, had a little breakfast, and went out there and was working on a Daytona Speed Blue Pearl. And it was going to have pearl white ghost flames. It got some of them. I was working on doing the final coats of clear the day before. And all I needed to do was sand it down where I could mask off and lay out the flames. I'm not sure I've got any pictures of that. If I do have pictures of that, I'll show them. it turned out real pretty for what it was. I never got to finish the flames. I went that evening. I worked all day on it, just steady. And that evening I decided to take a ride and go up and see a friend of mine up in Kentucky. He also is a painter, and he had a project going on that needed a little help, and I thought, well, maybe if he'll swap out a little time on me this weekend, we can finish his next weekend. So I rode up and we visited for a while. Had to pull a two off the old pipe and drank a Pepsi because I do not ride and drink, and no one should. Ever. Enough said about that. On the way back to the house, the incident happened, and man, things have just been kind of crazy ever since, you know. Mentally, I'm a lot better. Physically, I'm a lot better than I was the first year, but still got my limitations. Shoulder issues, hip issues, mainly. That really bothers me. And it bothers me anymore that being an old painter and a Harley mechanic for years, a lot of years, there's sometimes you just got to pick stuff up that's heavy. And there ain't nobody there to help you, so you go ahead and do it. And fortunately enough, I had learned over the years how not to hurt myself. I was doing pretty good. Not so much anymore. But I'm really glad that I'm still able to sit here like this and talk to you guys, and still able to get out and go camping. And I'm going to keep doing that just as long as I can. And hardly anything beats that sound right there, is it? Wind shifted around a little bit. Supposed to get rain this afternoon. Let me take a little break here and give me a drink of my green tea, and I'll be right back. Finally got the little cardinal to sit still, just in time for you guys to watch him fly off. That's the one that's nesting here at the hideout. As far as still being able to be a mechanic, I can still turn wrenches, but I'm not near as fast as I used to be. Still get the job done. It's hard to get paid when you take twice as much time. And during the crash, still upon impact, I had a hold of the throttle, and this wrist got bent back past 90 degrees. So I've lost some of the control of this hand. We had to teach it how to use a lighter again. And I ain't left-handed. It's a good thing I'm pretty good at it anyway. So if I ever meet you guys and I offer you my left hand, don't think I'm strange. It hurts to have this one squeezed on. I'm still good with it. I don't know how things are going to turn out, and I'm not going to keep rambling on this one. I feel a whole lot more comfortable doing it this year. Last time I had 2 years without a ride, now it's 3 years without a ride. Maybe soon. Maybe soon. I'll do some shots here before long of the bits and pieces that I've got to work with, and if I sit down and get everything together, I've got about 2 months worth of building to do to meet my satisfaction anyway, right? Building it for me. Better do it right. I'm going to turn the camera off and sit here for just a little bit. Just kind of listen to Mother Nature and chill out. Felt a few sprinkles of rain there a few minutes ago, and I do not have a waterproof camera. And I ain't afraid of getting wet. Wish I could spend the night. It'll be about the right temperature. It's be in the 60s tonight. It might be a little muggy over here, but it wouldn't be bad, would it? Then ride out some of them thunderstorms tomorrow morning. That first year was pretty rough. Took a lot of getting used to not being able to do the things I could before. And into the second year is when I started making videos, and I made my first video here at the Hideout. I feel comfortable over here. A lot of you folks know exactly what I mean. Yeah, I've come a long way in 3 years, actually. And I have no intention on not going out into the woods anymore. When I get the bike back together, I'll try to be doing some, there's several places I can go and get into on the bike where it's fairly private. I may have to go in cool weather, but hey, I've never been one to be known to be shy to go out in the cold weather on a bike. You pretty much ask anybody that knows me about that. Really is just too nice over here today. The real issue that I have now is the right hand not cooperating all the time. The video that I done last year, if you look over my shoulder in the video, you'll see that eagle with a ripped out American flag kind of thing going on. That's one of my favorite pieces that I've ever done. That one was for a good friend of mine, Postman, we miss you. Unfortunately, he fell ill and passed away before we got a chance to paint his bike. I like that piece. Not that it's so patriotic, but the fact that I started from scratch and came out with that in the end. And it's about 4 hours worth of work. For me now, it's practically impossible. I can't sit for that long, and this hand doesn't cooperate for that long at a time sometimes. It's one of those things you just have to put it in your pocket because it ain't working right. I also suffered broken tailbone in this deal, 3 places. And that makes it difficult for me to sit long periods of time, and it bothers me when I stand up too. You know, that's enough about this. Maybe I'm feeling too comfortable today, huh? I hope I'm not just jerking your chain too long. Getting a little cloudy. The lighting changed there all of a sudden, didn't it? Well, folks, I'm going to sit around for a little while longer and take in some of this fresh air, enjoy the green time. Don't think you guys could hear it, but my little owl buddy, one of them's back over there. Anyway, folks, I'll be back soon with another camp out. Probably over here. I'd like to go back down to the lake. I don't want to do a couple of nights down there at the fire tower. I may have to wait a little while for that. I got a feeling that's going to be a pretty hot spot in the summer, and I don't mean too many people. I just mean where it's located. I think it's going to be pretty warm there when it gets to be 90 degrees everywhere. It'll be kind of suffocating in there. Anyway, folks, thanks for coming with me today. Sorry you ain't got no decent trail cam pictures, and I hope I didn't bore you. Till next time, everybody. We're just waiting for the next big adventure.